How's it going, YouTube? Corrosive here, back with our second Pokemon Unite Pokemon guide. Today we are going to be talking about Garchomp, and this is my second most played character. Actually might be my first now. I have played probably like 10 matches with him just today on my birthday. And he's a lot of fun. He is a little, I would say, awkward to use, maybe hard. I feel like a lot of people struggle with him, and that can be attributed to a couple things. One is the basic attacks. I don't think people really understand that you need to get the 5 stacks to attack faster. And I don't think people farm efficiently, I guess would be the best way to say it. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than the Ninetales video. I am going to go over the moves and items first, and then we'll get into a gameplay. And okay, so let's get into a little move breakdown here. So you start with Bulldoze or Sand Attack. I personally prefer to use Bulldoze first just to slow the Poplio, hit it when it tries to run away. It is a little annoying, but it's going to be like a little circle around you, and it will just hurt them. It's 5-second cooldown. Pretty quick, pretty easy. It is good for like poking at the beginning of the game too if you are going bottom lane rather than mid. And their next move is going to be Sand Attack, which hurls sand. It makes their screen like darker. It's harder to see, and decreasing their movement speed, and gives you a movement speed and attack speed buff. This could be better for jungling to start with, to kill the Bouffalant and stuff a little bit quicker with the attack speed buff, but I still personally prefer Bulldoze, to be honest. Next up we have his passive, which when taking melee damage, it deals a portion back to the attacker. It's pretty simple. It's just like Rough Skin in the actual game. As you can see, the Corphish takes 23 when he hits. So it's not a ton, but obviously like chip is chip. If there's like another player hitting you, it's perfectly fine to just get any kind of little chip you can. So you can see for a second there, you can see the Sand Attack that the Calm used on me. It made my screen like darker. It makes it a little harder to see. You can also see, so when you basic attack, you get the stacks, and when you're at 5, it turns yellow, and that's when you attack faster with Gabite or Garchomp. And that's just something to watch out for. I would recommend, if you didn't go in the settings and turn on the charge attack thing, to turn that on just so you can see it, because it does make things a lot easier when you are attacking, because you can see when you have that buff. It's nice for preemptively like stacking up for Dreadnought stuff. So first move I would get is, I'm gonna actually go with Dig, and we'll talk about Dragon Rush, but Dig is burrows under the ground, a little bit distance. As you can see, it's like a line. First thing you hit, you'll pop out of the ground and knock them up. Now, this is a little bit different than Dragon Rush, and it's hard to say which one's particularly better. I personally would say Dig is 100 times better, because you can go through walls, you can pop out on people. The little bit of CC is nice. The animation is quicker, is what makes me use it. So, like, it's 100% breaks down to the animation. The speed that you do Dragon Rush is just not good. It's kind of crappy. And speaking of Dragon Rush, we got the charge. It's almost the same as Dig. I think it is the almost the same exact range, but you have an animation where you kind of dive backwards and then you hit forward and you push anybody. So this will hit multiple people, and it'll push them in like a line, which can be good, but again, it feels like Talonflame's ult. It's kind of underwhelming in practice. It doesn't feel as good as the Dig. So at level 8, you're going to choose between Earthquake and Dragon Claw. And this is actually very interesting, because normally I go Earthquake, which is essentially Bulldoze, but it's bigger. It slows and it does like a little pulse tick. So I like Earthquake because of the fact that I can hit everybody. It kind of gets a little pulse going. It just like is a little chip, but there is a reason to possibly go Dragon Claw if you do get Dragon Rush. So the other move you can get instead of Earthquake would be Dragon Claw. And Dragon Claw is a line attack. Not too big. It's right there. So it's a little line, and it's gonna hit them, knock them up, and give you an attack speed buff. I have not practiced with this move that much. I haven't actually used it. I just have always picked Earthquake. I think Earthquake is strictly better, but you also can't go through walls with this, is what I was saying. But I think there is a reason to say, like, if you go Dragon Rush, you probably should go Dragon Claw, to be honest, because you can shove them and then knock them back and hit them. You get a nice little like CC chain, so you can kind of support your team a little bit. And that actually might be better if you need the like CC or you guys are lacking like frontline control. So talking about the basic attacks, this is one of Garchomp's strong suits, is when you are at the 5 stacks and you get the lifesteal and you're cranking away, you can solo Dreadnought. This is relatively quick, I would say. I don't know if this is as fast as Gengar or Cinderace, but it's definitely like, it's up there to just be able to solo something like that really quick is very, 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 very helpful for your team. So next thing we're going to break down is the ultimate, which is called Livid Outrage. Or Unite move, sorry. So you're going to unleash a powerful chain attack. It's going to go line, line, circle, cone, circle. And you can move while you're doing this. It's very awkward to get used to, I would say. If you can remember the pattern, it makes it a lot easier. You just have to remember line, line, circle, cone, circle. And you can kind of twist yourself and kind of like try to land the moves, but you're going to miss some. Like, it's not perfect. It's not easy to land. The thing is that the move itself is very, very, very forgiving on where the circle hits. It's very forgiving. Like, they don't necessarily have to be completely in it, and you can still hit them. It's a little weird, but I would say honestly go in practice mode like I am right here, and practice moving with it, because it's a little awkward at first to get used to, but it's not extremely hard. You just kind of have to try to land as many as you can, right? Like, so you want to try to hit 4 of the 5 is what I would recommend. And if I had to skip one, I would say try to skip the second line to line up your circle and your cone. Your circle, cone, circle. It's the easiest way, because if you try to turn back, like if you do line, line, and then turn back, it gets really awkward. Okay, so for the last thing for the basic attack is I just wanted to show the Zapdos. So what I would do if I was by myself in a game right here, I would farm up 5 hits on that Crawdaunt right there, and then come over and start just beating on Zapdos. I don't think you necessarily have to move like I am. It's just kind of a like tendency, and this Palm likes to try to come screw me over. But it's relatively quick. I would say if you could have like a teammate with you, obviously it's a little bit quicker, but you can. I have caught people off guard though, the other team, where they weren't defending Zapdos, and I was able to just melt it while they were fighting busy with my team, because it's only about 20 seconds. I want to say that was like 22 seconds, somewhere around there. I wasn't actually looking, but if you can sneak a Zapdos, sneak a Zapdos. So now I'd like to go over the held items, battle items, and this is going to be a little bit different than the Ninetales one. I'm going to do the items first, but at the beginning. So with Garchomp, this is going to seem weird, but you probably see me suggesting this a lot on a lot of these videos now, is I would run a full heal. One, this is just really good on Garchomp in general, because you are kind of melee focused, and if you do get stunned, para, sleep, something like that, and they can kite you a little bit, it is very, very annoying. So having the full heal is really good. Also, this is the for sure way to counter Gengar at the moment, who is running rampant in rank. Like, this Gengar is like ridiculous. I'm gonna go on the bandwagon and say that he needs a nerf, and full heal is the way to counter him right now. So I would almost be running this on everything, unless you need like eject button. If they do change Gengar though, I wouldn't say like nerf him. Obviously they need to do something. They need to change the cooldown on the Hex Sledge Bomb combo, which I will be doing Gengar next video. But if he does something happens where you don't really need the full heal, I would on Garchomp still suggest full heal just so that you don't get CC spammed, because you do need to land basics. You are a big basic attack hitter, you don't really spam abilities. You can run Slow Smoke and Eject Button. These are two things that I have messed around with a little bit. It's not that great, to be honest. It's kind of like Slow Smoke is kind of like an early kill, so you can get early levels and get the Garchomp quicker. It kind of falls off late game. It's kind of hard to like warrant using this when you do have the like, if you're using Earthquake, it's kind of like, okay, I have Earthquake, I don't really need the Slow Smoke because I'm already decreasing their movement speed. An Eject Button is always just for chasing down people. That's 100% the only reason you would use this, is if you have a problem getting in melee range to people and you need to chase people down. For held items, I am running Muscle Band, Rocky Helmet, and Focus Band. Again, this is a little subjective at the moment because obviously we don't know like what is the best thing to be running at the moment. Like, you can have like a general idea. So these are the three I'm running. I'm still at that point where like I have 150 item enhancers. I don't want to put them into anything, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of chilling. Like, I haven't had like a game where I lost because of the held items I had because they weren't upgraded and stuff. And I'm still kind of trying to find like what Pokemon I want to main. It is kind of weird because I am doing like the YouTube and Twitch stuff. I do want to do like play every Pokemon, so I don't really have like a main that I can just like dump my points into. So I kind of have to be careful with like spreading my stuff thin. So you can run Floatstone. This is another item that I would recommend if you have like a beginner item and you're upgrading it. If you have this on something else, it can be good. The movement speed is always good. The attack's always good. Being able to roam around when you're not in combat is really good too. I personally do like to do Jungle Garchomp because you can get them early levels to get to Gabite and Garchomp quicker. It kind of sucks to be stuck on bottom lane a little bit sometimes if you're fighting like Edelgloss and Cinderace, or even like a Greninja or Ninetales. It's kind of rough, I would say. Like, it's if you've ever played Garchomp and you're up against them on bottom lane and you don't have like a really solid teammate with you, it's rough. It's really, really rough. You can't really get in, you can't hit them, you can't really slow them. Sand Attack doesn't help you at the beginning of the game against some type of Pokemon, and it's just really rough. So being able to rotate to mid with Floatstone and get like the core fishes if you can, like right when they spawn, be able to rotate around and get maybe their like buffs when they spawn up, because people do miss their buff timers a lot. So if you watch like your jungler get a kill and then you run over, you might be able to steal like their Bouffalant or their Ludicolo and then take the jump pad back to mid. There's a lot of things you can do with Floatstone to help you get that farm that you desperately need as a Garchomp, because you do need to get the Gabite really quick. Something else that I haven't really used that much, but you can use Assault Vest. Very good item for stopping special attacks. Obviously special attacks is any kind of like move spammers, which this is another one of them like anti-Gengar items. However, I wouldn't invest too heavily in this at the moment because I feel like he's going to get nerfed. I don't feel like he's going to stay around, but having the extra Spadef and HP to stop the hex spamming bullcrap is really nice. The last item I would suggest is Scope Lens for the crit hit rate and damage. Again, you are a base attack spammer, so being able to crit on them and do big crit damage with them is actually disgusting. You can just melt through people with Scope Lens. Alright, so let's jump into the Garchomp gameplay. And this was actually a game that I was recording the like items and stuff, and then 3 of my friends were in Messenger and they said they were getting on, so I just hopped on and figured screw it, I played some Garchomp with them. It was kind of hard to get a good game, I'm gonna be honest. We were absolutely crushing. We had one game where the other team surrendered at like 6 minutes, and the other game they surrendered, I want to say, at like 5 minutes. And then one game we scored like 1,043 to 70, and I was like, I can't really use that as like a game to like absolutely just destroy the other team. Doesn't really showcase the like Garchomp in a sense. So I didn't want to play them one, so we ended up, we did get a good game where I was actually able to like use my moves and actually play the game. So what I like to do on Garchomp is if I am playing with friends like I am here, I do like to go mid. That's kind of a personal preference. I do like to get Gabite ASAP, and I feel like doing the mid boss, it is a lot easier to get the XP rather than trying to fight with just Sand Attack and your Bulldoze, I think it is. I don't think it's Earthquake. I also I like to start off with the Bulldoze just to slow the Lillipup at the beginning. It's really annoying when that thing runs away. It's also, I was thinking about this. It's kind of weird how, if you think about the game, so no matter what side you're on, you're playing from the left going right. And no matter what, Dreadnought's at the bottom. And that's really weird for me, like, to think about in a MOBA. Because usually I'm used to, like, Dreadnought being on, like, the top if I was on the other side, if that makes sense. But it's not like that. It's really, really weird. It's very interesting to think like how it's mirrored, but for no matter what team you're on, you're going left to right. So I like to start Bulldoze. I actually wasn't looking if I actually went Sand Attack. I was testing starting Sand Attack to see if the attack speed increase actually matters, which it doesn't. The main thing you want to look for is the 5 dots if you do have the setting turned on where you can see the pips. So when you get 5, you will attack faster. I don't actually know if you do more damage, which is probably something I should know because I have played like 30 games with Garchomp at this point. But you're attacking so fast, you can't really tell how much damage you're doing. So it's kind of like whatever. I also like to roam here with Gabite. I like to try to get you're trying to get to level 7. Like you're trying to get the Gabite to get Dragon Rush and Dig, I believe it is. I used to run Dragon Rush and I actually switched to Dig because I felt like Dragon Rush was not helpful 90% of the time that I was using it. So there's like you have like a weird wind up animation with Dragon Rush where you like go backwards in the air and then you swoop forward, and I feel like it was like it's almost in the same way of like Talonflame's ult. It just felt shitty to use. So I have been using Dig and it's been working 100 times better than using the other move. Using Dragon Rush, there we go. I was trying to remember what it was. So here we have just completely annihilated. I was able to get everybody low, and I think she was able to clean up both of them. I think she gets the slow, bro. You better. Okay. No, she doesn't. Does she? She did. Okay. Yeah, good job. So here I think this game was kind of weird. They had 3 people at the bottom a lot, so I was kind of trying to like help them. So my main goal was to get myself to level 7, which I did do, and then I want to get Haunter and what the fuck's this thing's name? Cinderace, whatever its second form is, I don't even know. Get that to level 7 too, so I'm just kind of roaming around and helping them. I don't take the last hits on mobs because I want them to get the XP. And I'm just trying to help them because once he gets Hex and once she gets the Cinderace going with like the basic attacks and stuff, I pretty much don't need to come down back to this lane. That's pretty much like once they're online and they're going, I can just leave. I can go do my own thing. So this is the power of Garchomp too. You get lifesteal, you get the attack speed, you can solo Dreadnought. So I just told them to make sure the Slowbro doesn't come down. Just kind of zone the Crustle, and I can literally solo the Dreadnought. It's Dreadnought, Rotom, and Zapdos. You can solo pretty easily with Garchomp. There's no possible way you die to any of them because of the lifesteal. The only problem is it's better. I would say if you're trying to be like super efficient, it is better to melee swing maybe like the Vespa Queens in the middle or the Audino, I believe it is, and like the side. You get 5 stacks and then go attack it and you can kill it faster, obviously, but that's like super like optimized if you want to be like as quick as possible. I do that against Zapdos. I'll hit the Crawdont or Corphish that's in the middle, so at like 8 seconds I'll melee, and then once I get to the 5 stacks I will run up at Zapdos right when he spawns and start melting him. But now that we hit level 10, this is where you are officially like a monster with Garchomp. It's very, very hard to die as a Garchomp unless you're like super out of position. I don't know why I ulted here. I don't remember. Oh, I thought there was 3 people, so I just wanted to blow my ult, but it was just one guy. They killed the other one. It's fine to waste your ult though. Like obviously you want to use it. It's one of them situations where you don't want to sit and like not like if you have a chance to ult two plus people, I would say go for it. I genuinely don't like to use his ult on one person because you can just melee them down unless they're gonna kill you. It's better to just melee like crazy. Get a nice little dig. That's why I like dig right there. So if I had Dragon Rush right there, the wind up plus glide animation, I wouldn't have actually been able to hit that Ninetales. I would have missed by like a little smidge. And that's really what it comes down to of me personally using dig now over the Dragon Rush. The other thing is Dragon Rush, I don't remember if it goes through walls, but it was very annoying to like not be able to get through, if that makes sense. You're kind of just stuck, and I'm using the full heal because I was expecting there to be a Gengar. Obviously there's not, which kind of sucks. It's become like I've put full heal on expecting Gengars, and there haven't been any Gengars since I've been using full heal. It is still really good for all the other people though with the CC and stuff, because with Garchomp you do want to be basicing, and it sucks to get kited. It feels really bad. Like that right there. So I actually thought I could full heal if he CC'd me, but I can't. So here I thought I was gonna die, so I just turned on him and ulted. I didn't want to do I didn't want to deal with the bull crap. I think we kill each other. Yeah, so I died of the stealth rocks, which is funny because that was the first time I've actually seen stealth rocks. I didn't know like what it actually did. I didn't know if it was like I should stop moving or something. I'll actually have to read up on Crustle a little bit because I've never seen stealth rocks be used. So now we're at the low period. So this is one of my like gripes with the game, honestly, like overall, is right now the game you can't see the score as far as I know, like who's in the lead, which isn't a big deal. I kind of like the suspense feeling of not knowing if you're like winning or not. It kind of adds more to the game. The only problem is right here, I feel like the game is 100% decided by who gets Zapdos, and that's a lot of the games in this. Like, a lot of the times it feels like Zapdos determines who wins, and I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be more like, how do I word this? It should be more based off of like how well you're doing. You shouldn't, so like the Zapdos should swing the game in whoever's favor gets it, but it shouldn't make you win the game outright by killing Zapdos. That's my problem with it. I feel like if you kill Zapdos, you win the game. And if you take like the Fire Giant and Smite, or I don't know what the League of Legends one is. I don't know if it's like a raptor or a drake or a dragon. But when you capture that, like, they still have a chance. Like, it's not a you just win. In this game, it's kind of like you kill Zapdos, you just win. That's the thing. So everybody's just fighting over this Zapdos. I actually had a really good ult right there too. I wanted to focus the Crustle, and now I'm just zoning the Ninetales. The main reason I just wanted to kill the Crustle is I didn't want to deal with his bullshit. I didn't want him to CC anybody. We don't really have like a tank of our own, so it's kind of like to me and the Machamp to kind of zone people. I thought Matt was gonna die right there. So this is the problem with Zapdos. Like, I don't know how you fix this though. But like the game was close, right? Like these guys aren't bad. They were about the same skill. Everything was pretty even up until that point. And then he gives you like everybody 30. He makes it instant, and you're in the final 2 minutes, so it's double points. It feels really, really bad. And I don't actually know how you would tweak it. I feel like maybe have Zapdos's thing make your dunking, make it like half speed. So you do it at half speed. Because I feel like making it instant plus double points plus giving you 30, it feels really bad. Like, and I don't want that. I don't want it to be like, oh lol, because I've had games where we actually have all their goalposts except their last one, and they've capped almost nothing, and they kill Zapdos and they go 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, and they get plus 500 points right there. Plus, if they kill you after they dunk, they get another like 30, 40, and it feels really, really bad. I don't know. That is Garchomp's not hard, right? Like you're a basic attack monster, so there's not a lot to like go over gameplay wise. I feel like if you get in, you can basic attack, you can get the earthquake off to slow them, and melee, you're golden. The problem is just getting to that point where you are Garchomp or you are Gabite with Dig where you can get in. The early game is the roughest. If you can go mid, I personally prefer going mid with Garchomp so that I can get them early levels. But if you are on bottom, you do have to be a little passive. I feel like you can get poked super easily. It's very annoying, very hard to deal with sometimes. Besides that, yeah, you just gotta the Garchomps. I think Garchomp is very undervalued because you can literally solo Zapdos, Dreadnought, Rotom. You can swing the game. Your ult is literally like a nuke. You can kill like 3 plus people with one ult. So even if you're like losing, he's one of the characters that can get you back in the game because he can do stuff on his own. I put him in the same tier as like Gengar or Cinderace in that matter. And so it's really good. I think more people just need to get better at the early game with Garchomp, if that makes sense. Because I feel like a lot of people get discouraged because from what I've seen in like even ranked is people get stuck on like bottom with Gabite and they get farmed a little bit and they can't get them levels caught up to match everybody else. So they just like fall off. They're not that great. They can't get Garchomp. I've seen people get Garchomp with like 2 minutes left. They're hitting level 10 and stuff, and you need to be efficient. If there's like a core fish or something, you need to just take it, kill it. If you lose your first goalpost, it's whatever. Like don't be so focused. Don't die for your first goalpost. It's like the biggest tip I can give on Garchomp. Like it's not worth it to just die for it. That is gonna do it for Garchomp though. If this has helped you in any way, get better with Garchomp. I know he is a little tricky to use. It's a little weird having like a basic attack person that is melee, but you do have the AoE. You have all the help you can get. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who I should do next. I was going to do Gengar, but I'm expecting nerfs with him, and I might wait till after they nerf him to do it. I don't really want to do it now when there's like the possibility that he's going to get the nerf cannon right away. So if there's anyone that you want me to do, let me know.